Alright, so what we're going to do is demonstrate how to create your final poster for the calendar project. So what we're going to do is we need to get a photo and set it up in Photoshop. We're going to make it 13 by 19 or 19 by 13 at 300 resolution, and we'll save a copy. Okay, so I've got a folder already, and clear all these out. Okay, I'm using period 0 for this one. So my period 0 folder, I've got a folder in there, and it's called calendar, poster, my last name, first name. And then in here, I've got a picture I took in New York City a few years ago. I'm going to use that one. So I'll open that one with Photoshop. So I took this one when I was on top of Rockefeller Center, or 30 Rock, and here's the Empire State Building and World Trade Center, Statue of Liberty. So pretty cool picture, I think. So I'm going to use this one as my calendar. I need to set it though first. So I need to go to the crop tool. Okay. Then change ratio. I've got to make sure I'm on width, height, resolution. I want it to be 19 inches by 13 inches at 300 resolution. Okay, those are the numbers. Now in this picture, the ratio is almost the same as what I'm looking for here, but I got a little bit extra here and here, so that's okay. I'm fine either side. You can still move it left and right, whatever. Just get it set. If you wanted to, also depending on your picture, you could bring it down a little bit too, or whatever. So I'm going to leave it alone, just like where it is here. Okay, and I'll hit this check right here, or enter on my keyboard, and then I'm going to go to File, Save As, and I'm going to put _ edit after this, just in case I don't like my crop later. I can go back to my original picture and not have to worry about finding it again and all that. And so I'm going to save that. So it's going in the right place. Save that, and then it's going to come up 12 baseline standard. Okay, so I'm done with this. I can close it. I'm done with Photoshop. Okay, I need to go to a new InDesign document now. So next, I need to create a new InDesign file that's 13 by 19 inches. Okay, mine's 19 wide. I'm doing a horizontal one. I'm going to call it calendar poster, last name, first name. So I'm going to get InDesign. I'm going to create a new document. It's going to be in inches. It's going to be 19 wide by 13 tall. Let me create it. Before I do anything else, I'm going to go to Save As, and I'll make sure I'm in the right spot. And I'm going to call it calendar poster. Please spell calendar correctly. It's an AR. And then my name. Save it. Okay. Next, I want to make layers. So I'm going to use the layers palette to make 2 layers. One's going to be for the photo and one for the months. It keeps it easier to work without having to lock things down so much and move things by accident. So I'm going to make a couple layers. And I'm open my layers palette here. Now if yours isn't right here, then it's under Window, Layers. Okay, that's where you find it, Window, Layers. So this one, I'm going to make 2. One, I'm going to call it Photo. The bottom one will be called Photo. And then this one, I'll call it Months. That's all I really need on this one, are those 2 layers. On the photo layer, I'm on the photo layer. I want to place the picture I just made. So we'll go to File, Place. We use Place and not Edit Paste. Edit Paste is used for text, but I'm using Place for the photo. So here I am, the right spot, and I want to find the one that has Edit on here, and that's the picture, and hit Open. Okay, and open that. I have a loaded icon, just click, and I can put it in position. Now it's already the right size because I already made it 13 by 19 or 19 by 13. Okay, so that's on that one. Now I know I'm not going to be messing with this layer anymore, so I'm going to hit the lock button right here. This layer is locked. I can't mess with it anymore until I unlock it. So now I'm going to go to my months layer. On the months layer, I want to start placing my months. In my folder, I've got some month. I made January so far. I have my month template. So here's my month template. All right, and then I went to File, Save As, and I made January, and here's the January template. Okay, and I want to place this one on the calendar, right? So I'm going to use the PDF file. By the way, I also have the InDesign file, which is right here. This is the one I used to make it. You can place either the PDF file or the InDesign file on your poster. It doesn't matter which one. I'm going to place both of them to show you how there's just a little bit of a difference, not much. So I'm on my months layer. It's highlighted. I'm going to go to File, Place, and I want to place the month January, the PDF file. I'll do that one first. Okay, now this is important. Make sure that your Show Import Options button is checked. Make sure it's checked because you want to show that. You want to choose Bleed for placing it. So I'm going to hit Open. And then it's already set to Bleed because I've been here before. But by default, yours might be set to Bounding Box right here. And now notice the difference on the that checkered type of marquee line around January. See how close it is to the bottom of it right here? If it's on Bounding Box, but watch what happens to this when I change it over to Bleed. It makes it a little bit, it goes to the actual outside of the whole thing I made. So that's what I want for all of them because we use those fractions for those two numbers in January, and we did so I think in July and October. The bottom of it is going to be different for each of the months, so I want to make sure I'm on the outside of the whole thing to make sure they're all consistent. So make sure that's on Bleed. And the only way I can remember to help you guys remember it, is just think if it's Halloween this month, and what do you do for Halloween other than Bleed, I guess, if the bad guy's getting you, right? Elmer, am I right? You know what I mean? All right. So I hit OK. Now I get this loaded icon. Now this is 10 by 10 inches. Okay, so I'm just going to click. And then, before I do anything, I'm going to go back over to this percentage over here. It's 100 by 100%. And you can make it any size you want. I'm just going to start with 25 and see how that looks. 25% sized, and that's that. Okay, so I can put my months on here. If I go 25% size, I can go across here. If I put 6 across and 6 across, but I'm thinking maybe 25 might be a little big, so I can actually highlight this and maybe go 20%. Whoops. So I can go 20%, and there's that one. So for this demo, I didn't make the rest of the months yet, but you can imagine if I have 6 across, January, February, March, etc., then that will fit 6 times 6 there, and then I can put maybe 2022 down right here, and there's my my calendar. Okay, so that's placing a PDF. Now notice that this is it's clear, and I can see through it to the background. I'm going to turn on my I'm going to view display performance and turn on high quality display so everything clears up really nice. Okay, so now it's nice and crisp and sharp, and I can see through this thing to the background. And if I decided to instead have white letters instead of dark letters on here, this is how you do it. You got to go back to InDesign, to your month that you have here, and just go to, whoops, that's the PDF. Go to you got to do it once for each month to make them all white. I wish there's an easy way of doing all of them, but you just got to do each one at a time. So I'm going to open the January one, and then I'm going to go to File, Save As, and I'm just going to put, after this one, I'll put underscore white. And then I need to make all the text white. So I'm going to grab this, I'm going to go around everything, and my swatches palette, click on the text, and make the text white, or it's called paper. All right, now everything went to white except for those 2 slashes right here for the fractions, and then I got to click on just those. I'm going to click on the line of it and go make it paper, and click on that, the line, make it paper. So now everything is white, and to prove it to you, if I draw a box here, give it a color, and I send it to the back. So there's my, all the text is white on here, okay? So anyways, this is called white. I'm just going to close that down, save it, yes. And then I can place a white one. I can go to File, Place. And this is the one that's white. Show import isn't turned on. And this one also has a bleed option. This is an InDesign file, either way. Make sure it's on bleed. Okay. Whoop. And then I get a loaded icon, and there it is. Again, I can go over to here and give it a size. So then this one is white. So you'd use white if you have a darker background. I wouldn't want to use the white one up in here. It's too light on the light area of the sky and all that, but I have some clouds. Depends on how I want to build this calendar. So if you want to do white text, then you can do that. Back to this one, or this one. If I want to have a screen on here, because I have a combination of light and dark in the background, and you have to have a screen, I'm going to fill it with a color. Let's say I fill it with white first. Fill it with white. Then you go up to Object, and then Effects and Transparency. And the transparency comes up. Make sure your preview is turned on so you can see the result of what you're doing. Okay. You want to change Object to Fill, because only the white fill part is what I want to make see-through. So I'm going to go to Fill, and then I can take my opacity down, and you can see how it's becoming kind of, well, it's see-through to the back, to those clouds. Now, if you make the mistake of not changing it to Fill, I'll show you what happens. Let's say you're on just Object. What happens now is everything in this object, including the text, is going to be invisible. See how January, all the letters and numbers, they go away. So that's why you want to make sure that you're on not Object, but you want to go to Fill so that you can, reduce it. Okay. Now, if you want to fill this with something other than white, you can choose any color you want to, and same thing. So if I make this layer, it's going to be more of a pink, but let's try it out. So Object, Effects, Transparency, make sure I'm on Fill, and then I can change this, bring it down. So if you have a color in your poster that dominates and you want to complement it with the colors of the months, you can do it that way too. Okay, so one of these I placed as an InDesign file, one I placed as a PDF. Either one, doesn't matter. Make sure you have your show transform options turned on, and you have it set for bleed, and you're good to go. Just make sure every one of them, when you place it, and then you go over to your percentages here, just do the same for every single one of them. If you go 25% or 20% or whatever percent you use, make sure they're the same, and you're good to go. Let me know if you have any questions on how to do that, and I can't wait to get these printed out and up on our walls.